What's going on, everybody? This is Afro Think Tank. I just want to say thank you to all the racists, all the xenophobic people, all the racist POCs, all the racist white grifters. I just want to say thank you to all the haters of black people. I want to say thank you to all of you guys. I want to say thank you to Donald Trump. I want to say thank you to this neo-Nazi administration. I want to say thank you to Pete Hegseth. I want to say thank you to every single racist person who gained the balls to come out and tell us how you feel. I want to thank this current American government, this Nazi government. I want to thank all the politicians who've been, politicians for 30, 40 years because somehow your stupid constituents continue to put you in. I want to thank all you politicians for showing us who you are now that Donald Trump is your president. I want to say thank you to all you. Let me tell you why. Because as powerful as black people are, as influential as we are, as much money as we generate, we're talking about real life. We're not talking about that pseudo statistics y'all keep talking about to paint a picture of black people not being successful, being dependent, being whiners. And I want you to, we're not talking about that. We're talking about the real world where black people are actually successful, thriving, growing in population, and things like that. Because in the real world we're doing great, and that is the fact. The problem that you people have, the better black people do, the more racist white people get. The more black people succeed, the more the institutions meant to stop us from succeeding retract and try to double down on their institutionalized racism into their systems of racism that are used to keep us down on every level and every aspect of society, while bashing us for having a difficult time or moving slower in certain industries compared to others who are given a pass strategically in order to be a buffer class, or who have the privilege, right, because they're part of the dominant class, right? I just want to thank all of you guys, because the thing is, black folks, and what even black folks don't realize is that since we're so much older than every other group, we've been around so long, we've been through so much stuff, and we're talking about old memory, DNA memory, hundreds of years of subconscious genetic memory. This current situation is something that we can, in fact, handle, because it's not exactly the worst thing we as black people have been through. We've been through, as black people who've been here for a million years, right? We've been through great climate changes, mass migrations, nature-inspired genocides. We had to physically battle other human beings, other hominids. Okay, we're not talking about black, white, eight. We're talking about other hominids. We had whole war. Listen, black people had wars with other types of humans. There was a time, all right, and that time span, that stretch of time, is much more vast than this current time, that modern day humanity that we can, from our ancient times to now, this small little time, we've had more time battling other different type of humanoids to the death, for the domination of this earth. As Africans, we did that. But nobody else did that but us. We did that. And by us doing that, and then breeding with some of those other dominated humanoids, we created you Asians and you Europeans, right? Right? We know how to cope. It's built in us. And when we cope, we get comfortable, we relax, because we're in there for the long haul. We understand patience, right? We understand time is a man-made construct, that the only time is really in our minds, and that these units we have called bodies expire, but we go on forever. We know this. And because of that, we allow other groups to get away with all kind of stuff. And because we are used to that level of stress, we can go about our daily lives and not worry about it, right? We can tolerate the disrespect because we've tolerated more, right? We've come conditioned to tolerate the disrespect, the disenfranchisement, to the point to where we can continue to walk into establishments that we know historically whether it be through their own power or through the power of persuasion by the dominant culture, that we are lesser than, right? That we are meant to people are meant to be suspicious about us by default. That we are all these things that we are clearly not, right? We are everything that people think we are. That's what the white man is. All the negative stuff about us is literally the white man looking in the mirror, right? But projecting it onto us, right? The guy holding up the mirror to them, right? And, when we elected Barack Obama, I'm gonna be honest, we saw how America reacted. We saw how the whole world reacted. All of a sudden, the black president of the United States inspired all these Asians, okay? All these Asians. I remember the inspiration around the world. People was crying in every country because they was like, that black man. Because keep in mind, the black man has been a lot of people's hero as they grew up. Because when they watched TV, they saw us. Just like Africans, they saw us on TV, right? They saw us, our people fighting through the media to gain some level of representation that could be deemed as respectable. We did that. We had to fight for that. And because we fought for that and we succeeded, other people were inspired by us, right? And they see our fight, as many people around the world are inspired. Their revolutions are inspired by our revolution, by our many revolutions, by the things we've gone through, right? And I remember the world reaction, this true reaction, its true feelings when Barack Obama became the president, the first time and the second time, right? But there was another reaction that we all pretended like wasn't there because we thought the world had changed, right? More than 50% of the white population had a problem. They saw everything that they've ever thought to be proud of crumble at that moment. They saw the world's reaction to that black man. They saw the reception that black man got from the entire world. And then for 4 years, they was hoping that black man would do something that they could use to, bolster the stereotypes they want to believe to make themselves feel better because of their insecurities. Because it's bad enough to turn the TV on and they see black people acting, becoming millionaires. They see black people dominating all the sports, becoming millionaires. They see black people portrayed on TV as business owners and businessmen and entrepreneurs, what they are, right? And it just doesn't make sense that the things that they were trained and taught by their white fathers, by their racist Asian fathers, by their racist machismo, white wanting to be Latino fathers, and their complicit ass, weak ass women, right? That those black people that they themselves can't measure up to, the reason why they like that is because it's something inherently wrong, right? But then when we reach the tops of political power, it's like shit. And in 8 successful years of no controversy, not the children, not the wife, nothing. Almost perfect. Too damn perfect. It pissed them off, right? And they saw the pride black people had as we walked around for that 8 years. Like, yeah. Matter of fact, the reason why I went to go get my college degree is because Obama told me to. Literally. I wouldn't have a degree in world history with a concentration in African studies if Obama didn't encourage me to do it. I had no plans to go to college. Most of this history stuff I already knew anyway. Well, I need to get a degree for. I already know it. What's the point? I'm not going to be a history teacher. I went and did it anyway just because of him. There's millions of black people went and did things they wasn't going to do, or they was sitting around saying they was going to procrastinate. I'm going to do it later. But when he became president, it activated millions and millions of black men in America and globally. Right? And we got comfortable. We thought, okay, we can deal with 40 to 50% of the world not being racist and appreciating us, and we just deal with the other 50% that's racist. But then we found out that that wasn't true. We found out that despite some of these white folks and their excitement, enthusiasm about us, it only went but so far. We found out that after some of them, became excited, a lot of them became disenfranchised because they thought that they thought they were going to get something special, right? Because they allowed the fantasy and the drama and the hype of a black president to make them forget that there's still a Congress in the House full of white supremacist miniature dictators that continue to get elected and has been there for 20, 30, 40 years destroying America. They forgot about that. They forgot about that one black man was going to have to fight for 8 years, right? And because they didn't get everything they wanted in their states, they went back to being racist. Well, this magical black Negro didn't do, any magical thing for me, so F him, right? And so the response was Donald Trump. The response was white jealous men activating, right? And then when the black woman ran, because she was forced to, keep in mind, she only had like less than 100 days to run, Kamala Harris, most qualified person, even more qualified than Obama, right? The one line they could not cross was that woman. Not even the women could cross that. The women couldn't do it. They much rather vote a Donald Trump, who is clearly unqualified to be a manager at Taco Bell, who none of these people who voted for him to be the president of these United States, to give him the keys to the nuclear codes, to give him access to the world's most powerful military, the world's most powerful bombs, the world's most accomplished economy. They rather give the white man who's a failure, who's clearly suffering from many different illnesses, y'all rather give that person the power. Crash and burn the ship. Y'all rather hit y'all rather hit, what do you call it? The damn, the big ass ice block in the fucking water. Y'all get what I'm saying? The Titanic type shit. The goddamn, y'all rather hit that motherfucker rather than turn around. All right? When y'all did that, black folks was like, whoa. It shocked us because we thought we was somewhere else. We thought we had advanced as human beings. We thought other human beings had advanced to our level. And then we come to find out they have not. That hurt. But it was good. Because black people were complacent, right? We always welcome everybody in. Even though we know that some of them that come in are going to be snakes. But we play the numbers game. We figure, okay, 10 coming in, 3 might be bad. We'll keep the other ones, right? We've tolerated this. We've tolerated the disrespect. We tolerated the news stories of some Asian person doing this to a black child. Some Latino person doing this to a black child. Some white person doing this to a black child. Some Latino doing this to a black woman. Some Asian man doing this to a black woman. You don't never hear no news of these Asian men doing something to a black man. You don't never hear these POC Latino men doing something to a black man. They always stick with the children, because as far as these men are concerned, it's the children that look like men to them. That's who they compete with, our children, not the man. They're afraid of our men. They'll fight our black women because they see them as equal as them, as men. But they won't mess with the black man. They only do it when that woman or that child is not protected by that black man. They won't do it when we're around, right? But unfortunately, a lot of these establishments that they encounter our women are in places that men, we don't go unless we getting something specific. It's not a place where we frequent. So we're not usually there to protect them most times, right? And so now that, an Asian man had killed, obviously murdered a black man, in the white system has allowed that Asian man to get away with the sole purpose of rallying up black people, right? Now black people are starting to say, you know what? Fuck this. F tolerating it. And I'm a Pan-African. I'm about pro-black unity. I've been talking the right game this whole time. You got groups that's talking about they want to delineate FBA and all that shit. Have you noticed that FBA, they ain't really get, some of them are starting to say, you know what, we need to unify. The same shit Pan-Africans been saying. Now you got all these groups who were spending all goddamn 2005, 2004, 2003 talking shit about other black people because maybe they thought they was going to get paid on social media because it was going to drum up some hate. It was going to drum up some attention, right? All those people like Tariq Nasheed getting paid by white supremacy to separate black people from that diaspora. The only group of people we can ever be united with are other Africans, and we all know this collectively. Despite the issues that we do have, verifiable issues like any group of people gonna have, like any family's gonna have issues, is to be expected, right? But, despite all of that, we are all we got. And as a Pan-African, I've been preaching to the mountaintops, but it's hard to preach to the mountaintops to people who are comfortable. It's hard to preach unity to people that don't see a need to unify because they're comfortable where they are. But now, white people and POCs have made us very uncomfortable. For the first time in a long time, we are very uncomfortable. We're uncomfortable with the fact, right, that we're being disrespected by people that we have helped out. disrespected by people who wouldn't have the privilege to disrespect us if our ancestors didn't fight and die so they can have that privilege. Right? So now black folks are being forced to unite. You see, when it's an option, some people just, get lazy, get placed in, they're like, I'll do it tomorrow. I want to finish talking shit about this topic, I'll do it tomorrow. But now we're being forced to. We're being forced to unite because we don't have a choice. The Latinos have let us know. Now, yes, there's a lot of Latinos fighting against the racism within their communities, and they're talking about it. Well, we hear you. Right? But Latino is not a race. It's a linguistic ethnicity filled with conquistadors and conquistadors slaves. All right? People who also don't know who they are. Right? We're dealing with people who are suffering from a whole cultural mental illness of denial of who they are. So we can't unify with people who don't know who they are. We can't unify with Latinos who are basically Indians who don't know they're Indian. We can't unify with them. We can only unify with the African Latinos who know they're African. That's the only people we can unify right now with. We gotta let the Latinos, those Indians, figure out who the fuck they are first. Let them unite with themselves, right? Let them find some racial pride with themselves, not that Latino pride, because with Latino pride is pride of one's colonizer. Latino pride is one of pride in one's colonizer's language. All right, that's what Latino pride is. All right, they need to have some damn Indian pride, some Native American pride, some Aztec pride, some Inca pride. They need to have some tribal pride. And then once they find that pride themselves, they can come and unite as a group with us, who they have more in common with than that white barbarian savage. Asians need to get their shit together because they got a lot of cultural issues that cause them to not be fully aware of what the fuck's going on. Like, it's ridiculous that any Asian would act the way they act. But I understand because they have this thought process that you just got to go to college and get a great job to get a great career. That's what they do in Asia because of the pressures of their societies there, to where school and stepping on somebody's neck, right, and competing like savage barbarians for the highest grade is life, right? So miserable, in fact, that's why they come to America, because they run away from that type of stuff. But they come here, right? The only reason they're able to come here is because of what my ancestors have done. But somehow they weren't taught that. I do understand they weren't taught that. But in the age of information, there's too much free information out here for them to remain willfully ignorant. And if they're baby boomer Asian men, still want to hold on to the sentiment that we are criminals while we are the ones who are financing their ability to live in this country, right? And if all we have to do is stop, because the white man is not going out their way to go to a Chinese restaurant. White women is not going out their way to go to the Korean hair salon. Right? They're not coming into the communities, black communities, to go to these specific locations. You guys are already competing with each other, right? But you have enough customer base to do so. So once 20, 30, 40% of your customer base go down, now your guys are cannibalizing each other because your services that you provide are not essential, right? But we're really glad, even though there's a lot of Asian people coming out going against Asian hate. I mean, Asians hating black people. I understand that. But Asian people are going to have to get over and work on their own group and work on the colorism that they can't get past, because they can't fix racism if they can't even get over their own colorism. Asian people hate other Asian people with a passion. And until Asian people can unite with other Asian people to get over their micro differences, there's no way they're going to get over this macro difference with us. So they need to close ranks and unite with each other before they can come and talk about some brown and black solidarity. Because if you notice, the solidarity is always with black in them. It's never Asian and Spanish solidarity against white supremacy. It's never Indian and Mexican solidarity against racism. It's never Honduras and Venezuelan unity to stop racism, right? It's never that. It's always them and black, because they recognize that the only way they're going to get anything done is to unite with the only force on this planet that's actually powerful enough to defeat the force that discriminates against them. And that's the truth. But I'm glad that all the racism, hate, xenophobia, and nationalism, I'm glad that everybody thinks that it's safe to come out and be racist towards black people. I'm glad you guys are coming out. You're not hiding behind coded words. I'm glad you guys are not hiding behind your microaggressions. I'm glad you're not just having these conversations at your kitchen tables when none of us are around. I'm glad you guys are talking about it while we can hear you. Because now some of my naive brothers and sisters are now getting to hear what they never heard. They're getting to hear it from multiple points of view. There's not just a bad apple. You have bad orchards out there. Whole bad orchards, right? Corrupted, infected orchards that we need to stay away from. And now we're going to slow fade all of these establishments that disrespect us. You got to understand, black people are building the same businesses that UPLCs have. We have those businesses. We don't just sit around and beg. 40% of the black community is in the middle class. 40. That's a large. You want to talk about statistics? 40% of us. That's a humongous chunk. You can't say the same thing about Europeans. And this is our, for all intents and purposes, this is our, as an ethnic group, native land. So in our native land, 40% of us, compared to everybody else, are in the middle class, doing quite well. We can't say 40% of Chinese people are doing very well in China, now can we? We can't say 40% of Mexicans in Mexico are doing very well, can we? We definitely can't say 40% of Indians are doing very well in India, where you are from, right? Because we're from here. You're an immigrant. When I go to Africa, guess what? I'm going to Africa with leverage. Therefore, I'm special. You can't compare me to somebody in Africa unless they're exceptional and they stayed in Africa. So you people coming into America comparing yourselves, you're already a middle class where you come from. You're already well-to-do where you come from. You're already getting hooked up by the American system because you're very good at one particular thing that they want you for. Because they'll pay you less to do it because the person that could do it here in America wants a living wage. You're not special, you're cheap. Right? So I'm glad all of you guys are doing this. I'm happy. This is all is needed to happen. All this painful medicine needed to happen so we all know where everybody stands. Because we needed this before. While Africa's rising, because we are, like you, while y'all talking all this shit, African people on this globe are rising faster than anybody else. And we're also growing in population while the rest of you have a literal self-inflicted genocide on your hands. All of you. Because of the way you guys are in your own countries. The way you guys culturally are. You guys have inflicted a self-imposed genocide on you. While Africans have not. All of our states within Africa. All of those countries. You know. All of them have a commonality. Live. Enjoy. Celebrate. Make babies. Be human. Be one with nature. I can't say the same from the rest of you. Because of that, you guys are going down and we're going up. And best believe we will replace you. We're going to replace all of you. It's only a matter of time. To all the lands that you call your own belongs to us. It's only a matter of time until your countries that you think are doing so well because you can't generate any revenue because you ain't got no people. It's only a matter of time until you have to import us. No matter how much the people you have left over, no matter how much they protest against it, no matter how much they want to keep a homogenous society, you're not going to have a choice. So eventually we'll be there. And we're going to take over everything. And when we get to that point, when the table turns to that degree, you know, we're going to, because like elephants, like the great African elephant, we got a long memory. And we're going to remember how you treated us. We're going to remember everything you've ever done to us. And we're going to remind you, the few of you who are left, we're going to remind you about yourselves, about your ancestors. Because it's going to be history. Anyway, like I said, I appreciate it. Because you guys are doing the work of Pan-Africanism. You're forcing us to unify. You're forcing us to see that our only allies are the people that look like us despite the problems that we have internally in our house. That we can put the energy in fixing those problems rather than putting the energy in fixing a relationship with a group of people who have never shown that they're willing to have an equitable relationship that benefits both parties. So yeah, thank you very much. Anyway, tell me what you guys think in the comment section. This is Afro Think Tank. Learn something, teach something. I'm out.
Fuck them. Again. Fuck them. Them and you is not friend. Fuck them. Them no need to be in your life. So why you making them cause you nothing but trouble and strife? Fuck them.
Just a friendly reminder that black people have helped every single oppressed group fight for their rights. Just to have every single one of those groups turn their backs on us. Just a friendly reminder.
when it comes to black people, and I mean every single black person around the globe in this world, I'm Nat Turner. Call me Malcolm X. I don't play about black people. I do not play about black. I don't.
I heard someone say, don't forget the compass was invented before the clock, because direction is more important than time. Shit. Damn.
Free Sudan! Boycott diamonds and gold! Free Sudan! Boycott diamonds and gold! We most definitely cannot forget about the people of Sudan!
Thanks for watching Afro Think Tank. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And follow me on Substack and Patreon for more content. Remember, it's Pan-Africanism or nothing.